Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting video on the Mr. Schlegel's Mathnasium. Today we're going to be discussing power. Power is not voltage, power is not current, power is not resistance. It is something that's kind of a combination of several of them, and that's what we're going to be going over today, how you can calculate power consumption from the electric company in an appliance, and how we can use that. So, power is represented by the letter P. It's measured in the unit watts. It's also frequently used in kilowatts, but kilo, you guys know, the prefix just means 1,000. So watt is the rate of energy being consumed, and that's what's really important. I have rate in bold. Watt in and of itself is not energy. It is the rate that energy is being consumed. So it's energy per second. 1 watt is 1 joule per second. And joule can be converted to all sorts of things. It can be converted to calories. So it is how fast things are being consumed. So appliances are rated by how many, by their wattage. And what that means is that tells you how fast you're consuming that energy. Okay, so like a microwave is going to be working this hard, a fridge is going to be working this hard, and so on and so forth. It's the rate energy is being consumed. 1 kilowatt, 1,000 watts. Okay, super. That's what power is, represented by the letter P. And here's an equation, a new equation that follows. Power is equal to current times voltage. Okay, so I, remember, represents current, V represents voltage, and the units then are watts are equal to amps times volts, which is pretty darn useful. So it turns out that with this equation in combination with Ohm's law was what we learned before, that voltage is equal to current times resistance. You can take those two equations and you can do an awful lot with them. Up on the board you'll see all the equations that result from those. So let's go ahead and continue on here. So then what is a kilowatt hour? Because a power company charges by these units called kilowatt hours. And essentially what it is energy. A watt was energy per second. A kilowatt hour is just energy. It's a measure of 3.6 megajoules, or 3.6 million joules is basically what it is. Power companies charge based on a kilowatt hour. And basically, it's if you're using something, the wattage, you multiply by the number of hours that you're using it, and then multiply by the cost to get how much that's going to cost you for that amount of time. Now, if you'll notice here, here in Fairbanks and North Pole, Golden Valley charges like 22 cents roughly per kilowatt hour. Fairbanks is very, very expensive in comparison to a place like Idaho that charges around 6 cents per kilowatt hour. Unbelievably, almost 4 times the price as other states. Now, why is that? Let's think about this for a sec. What is powering Fairbanks? Ethan, what's powering Fairbanks? Do you know? Coal. God dang it. Coal. That's going to be really loud on the speakers, by the way, when I hit the desk. Okay. Yeah. Coal is powering this plant, and coal is not considered a clean form of energy. Idaho Falls is run off of a nuclear power plant. So it's much more efficient and can be much clean as long as there's no reactor meltdowns or anything. So we have a coal plant, and the power plant downtown, it's on Phillips Field Road or off Phillips Field Road. You can see it across the river. It's keeping the river warm all year. You know that the railroad is right on the other side of Phillips Field Road. That's no coincidence. The railroad brings in coal. You can see carts of coal coming in. That goes under the road, up a conveyor belt, and into the power plant to power that process. And this is how they charge. They charge this price, so 0.22287 per kilowatt hour. Okay, so if you want to figure out, since this is energy, and you want to figure out how much energy you're using, Energy is equal to kilowatt hours. It's equal to the power that you're using. Power is what we learned before. Current times voltage. It's equal to the power that you're using times time. And this is the equation that you're going to be using today in your assignment. So kilowatt hours is equal to the number of kilowatts times the number of hours being used, or kWh equals kW times h. Pretty straightforward. So let's take a look at this calculation here. How much will it cost to run an 1100 watt microwave for 1 year? So 1100 watt microwave. You're going to do 1100. Okay. Now, what we said before was that energy needs to be kilowatts times hours, right? To find kilowatt hours, you need kilowatts times hours. Okay, so you do 1100 divided by 1000, because there are 1000 watts in a kilowatt to get 1.1 kilowatts. Great, super. Okay, so we know that we're using 1.1 kilowatts. Now, let's do the math. Let's say you don't you probably really only use the microwave for, let's say, I don't know, a couple minutes per day, right? Maybe, let's say, an hour every 2 weeks or something like that. Well, if that was the case, then you'd probably use your microwave for about, I don't know, 30 hours a year. But let's assume that you have left your microwave on for a year straight. You were cooking a burrito from the gas station, and it was very, very, very frozen. You were cooking it for an entire year. How much would that cost to run your microwave for 1 year solid? Okay, for 1 year solid, you would do 1.1 kilowatts, okay, times, now, the number of hours you're going to use it. So there are 24 hours in a day times 365 days in a year. And so your final number here is going to end up being 24 times 365 times 1.1. Whoa, that's really big. Okay. If you had a microwave on for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, it would cost you a whopping total of you'd be using it for a whopping total of 9,636 kilowatt hours. Now the price per kilowatt hour is 22 cents, so you do 9,636 times the number from Fairbanks, which is before, 0.222, I think it was 87, is that right? Yeah, 22287. So how much is it going to cost you? 22287 for 1 year. It will cost you roughly $2,147.58. Okay. If you take a look at like Home Depot or something, you'll see the energy consumption guide. It says, oh, this is only going to cost you $36 or whatever. But if you look down at the bottom, it says that calculation is based off of 12 cents per kilowatt hour, which is not accurate. And they're probably, assuming minimum usage. So just be careful when you see these energy guides. Make sure you're reading how those calculations are made. What your assignment is on the website. You're going to go and you're going to check this sheet out. I've given you rough wattage for each of these appliances. You're going to convert everything using the equation in sheets to kilowatt hours. And I want you to estimate the number of hours in a day that you would use these. You're then going to multiply that into hours per year. Okay. And then what you're going to do is find your kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours is going to be your number of kilowatts times the number of hours you're going to use that in a year. So you'll do this column times that column to get this value. And then cost in Fairbanks is using that 0.22287. Cost in Idaho is 0.0625. Total those up, Show this to me when you get back. And that's it for today, folks. Thanks for paying attention, and I hope you have a great day.